No, it doesn't matter. This is just, he's ill. Okay.
Come on in, cell phones are off for silent mode, please.
No, I thought you had it.
Go to close your name, please stand up and speak loudly.
All right, Deputy Laura may know where it is.
I'll just try and see.
No. Well, I mean, I know Folly didn't take it. All right, everyone, please have a seat. And what date?
26.
All right, Tomas Hernandez. Come forward. All right, your attorney is not doing well. You look better than you did yesterday, but you were still not here at 8 a.m. like you said you were.
8:30, my bad.
No, not your bad. You said you were gonna be here at 8. You
I
were
came on a
not.
little bike, miss.
No, there's no excuses. Here's the thing, what I've learned in my time on the planet. When you make promises, you need to keep those.
Yes, ma'am.
So unless you came from the hospital and some emergency popped up, you said you were going to be here at 8 and you were not.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to see you back on the 26th at 9. And Eddie, take care of yourself.
Hello, Judge.
Don't come back down here if you're not feeling well, okay?
No, I have to get it up from a one-man show.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, miss.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to stand and let me know you are here. If you do not stand and let me know you are here, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. In custody, we have Felix Flores. That's being recalled for February 15th. If I could see that file, please. Raul Gomez, Raymond Foose, Joe Blakey, custody. Jasmine Hardaway. Thank you. In custody, we have Hannah Owen, Eric Gonzalez, Roland Guzman, Stephen Estrada, Nicholas Aguilar. Thank you. Adam Gonzalez. Adam Gonzalez. In custody, we have Joe Hernandez, Joseph Kruger. Thank you. Janelle Williams. Thank you. In custody, we have Roberto Ramirez, David Trevino, Joseph Montemoreno. Joseph Montemoreno. In custody, we have Luis Ramirez Rodriguez, Griselda Rosales. Was somebody saying something for Luis Ramirez? Okay. In custody, we have Virginia Serna, David Tabarez Pettis. In custody, we have MC Reed, Journey Escobedo.
Your Honor, counsel's present. She's in custody, Judge.
Thank you. Donnie Amarez. Custody. Anna De La Rosa. Anna Marie De La Rosa. In custody, we have Marcelina Padilla, Larry Evans, Paul Bell. In custody, we have Larry Holmes, Michael Garcia. Michael Garcia. Robert Grant. Orlando Adino, custody. Terrence Scott. Antoine Lynn, custody. Jose Angel Ruiz, custody. Joe Anthony Thomas, custody. Jesus Mendoza.
Present.
Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? All right, we'll start over here. Stan, what's your name?
What?
Vincent McCray? That's yes. Do you know your SID number or case number? It never fails. Guys never know this information.
Zero.
1170242. Do you know who your attorney is? Have you met them? All right, just have a seat. What's the last name? Do you know your case number, SID number? Have you met your attorney? All right, just have a seat. And yes, miss. All right, Norma, have them pull that file.
Yes, ma'am.
And behind you, sir? Do you know your case number or SID number?
77886.
Have you met your attorney? All right, just have a seat. Yes.
Diana Bernardes, SID number 5.
Wait a minute, Diana,
Bernardes,
spell the last name.
BELNARES,
All right, and SID number?
502-408.
All right, have you met your attorney? All right, just have a seat. Yes, sir. Case number, SID number?
SID number 113-4873.
Have you met your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who's your attorney?
Partner.
All right, just have a seat. All right, everyone, these are the rules of the court. To my left, court reporter, do not place your items on her desk or anywhere around her because that equipment is over $10,000. If you break it, you bought it. If you damage it, you will have bought it. In the back, we have the probation officer, Ms. Abrams, if you could raise your hand. Do not surround her. Do not turn your back to her. Do not put your papers on her desk. Do not sit on her desk. And if you have a client who is on probation, yes, you need to confer with her. She's an integral part of the legal system. If you have a client who's in custody, you need to request that that person be brought out. Let the deputy know. Once you request that the person be brought out, do not leave the courtroom because for security reasons, we can only have so many people in the box. If your client wishes to converse with the court in a language other than English, whether you speak the language or not, you need to request an interpreter. Once an interpreter has been requested, do not leave the courtroom because there's a shortage of interpreters. Do not approach unless you have conferred with your client, conferred with the state. Once you have done those things and also conferred with probation, then just approach, ask that your file be pulled. Once your file is pulled, have a seat. I will call you in the order of appearance. Do not talk behind the court reporter while we're on the record. How do you know we're on the record? Because I will have called the style of the case, which is State of Texas versus. So to the people who are in the box, if you're talking to a client, just move them to the end. The deputies will be fine with that. Do not approach the clerk, the coordinator, while we're on the record. These are the rules. Today is Tuesday. It's going to be a great day. You know why? Because we're closer to Friday than we were yesterday. A jury is going to come up, so somebody will be in jury trial today, and a jury is going to be up here at 11 o'clock. So everyone, please confer with a smile on your face and kindness in your hearts. You may proceed.
Rubén Rentería.
All right, Felix Humberto Flores.
Okay.
Why do I have this file? I have this file, Felix Humberto Flores.
You told me to give it to you.
No, it's Leslie Cox.
No, you asked me.
Ah, this one, okay.
Maybe it's not a little bit.
I don't know any good ones with that name, I know.
Well, I said bonus. I'm okay. No, you just like overwhelming or something.
They are political.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He never talks about.
Did he get hard on that?
Just forgot it.
I didn't either.
I mean, it's me, it's the best stuff. Well, I mean, there's several things that. Okay. I mean, it's to this, let's get the word probation comes out of your mouth. Okay, just tell you. I could.
It's not too-
I think it's.
Unless you want to cross.
Options.
Yeah, I know. All right. You want to call him and see who was retained on the other one? Just tell him that your note, this one hasn't gone in yet because it's not listed as retained.
That's right.
Usually he does. Why is it? I don't see the others. We can call people to do.
So we can bring Jeremy up right now, that's okay.
When you gonna stay here?
Understood.
Do you have a eyebrow?
Magical.
That's pretty good. LIRD.
No.
Okay, I'll check with the boss. Good morning, Ms. Ross. Do you have a Tyrone layered? Here, he was in the 227, got transferred over here. I don't know if he's today or not.
All right, and Norma, Leslie Cox is on the docket today for jury trial.
Yeah, correct.
She says. And I think I'm gonna end here. That's what I'm saying.
Do you have a moment, so that's here, I could talk to you, about a case that we do have on the docket? I don't know that my client needs to be up here, but we do need to.
Which case is
discuss an
this?
issue
Furlough?
That Eric
Like this.
Gonzalez Lopez, the one where Mr. Berrocal had, been having visits with my
Yes.
client.
Judge, so defense came this morning, there was some indication, in conversations with the detective looking into whatever's happening with that other guy. That there may have been video conferences with her client that, again, we haven't pulled, we didn't think to pull them. Defense is asking if we can pull them, I know that's gonna take a bit of time though.
Well, and just to let the court know, so one of my issues throughout this case, and I'm gonna have to kind of tiptoe around a little bit, is that I've always felt that my communication with this young man who is only just barely 18 years old. So, and all that entails. I think I've been very concerned once I found out about this gentleman having these visitations with my client and other people, that somehow had impacted my client and my client's family not to be able, for fear, confusion, influence of this other person, to not be able to have the types of conversations, honest conversations that we needed to have. I think that's impacted this young man's perception of his situation, of my role, of what's going on here. I'll remind the court, I know you already know, but he's not from this country. He comes from a system that's very different from ours. And so when I spoke with the detective who's investigating the case, who reached out to me, he did let me know that he believed that there were actually some video recordings of these visitations. And so I am keenly interested in seeing those because I am desperate to have any kind of
This Thursday or next month.
input or clue about why my communication with my own client has been so greatly impacted. And this is a kid who, I just don't want this boy going to prison because he couldn't hear what he needed to hear from me.
All right, you can bring him out and talk to him, but this case has been on the docket for an extremely long time. I understand the issues that you're facing, but bring him out, talk to him. And if it will help you all, I'll let him know, let his family know that that person is not an attorney. Hasn't been to, as far as I know, he hasn't been to anybody's law school in this country or anywhere else. And he's at I believe he's at the Bexar County Jail now.
That's correct, but would I be, sorry,
Yes.
would I? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm afraid to even say anything. Would I be able to, would the court entertain just a short continuance for me to review those?
They don't even know where the videos are or if the
I
videos.
can, the detective certainly knows, and I have his name and his
All right,
contact
so,
information and everything.
I mean, you can
so.
discuss with your client, but I don't see how these videos are impacting this case unless that person visited him and gave him some information that was Brady.
Well,
And I don't think he
there's
had.
no way, there's no way for any of us to know unless we look at it, and I sure would hate to find that out after the fact.
Oh, if you all find it out after the fact, then that sounds like a new trial. But this case has been on the docket an extremely long time.
So you're denying my request to have access to those videos prior to
I'm
the
denying-
beginning of the trial?
I'm denying a request for what it sounds like people want to continue, and so I'm not continuing this case anymore.
Could I at least ask the state to see if they can provide those to me at any time,
Sure.
as soon as possible?
And I
All right, does
appreciate-
anybody want to call the detective? I'm sure if they've investigated, he has the video.
Well, I was also gonna call our investigator to see if there were any jail calls because it's still.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
you're welcome. Joseph Montemarino.
Morning.
Good morning. Why are you late?
To be honest with you, I didn't have the $15-20 parking. I had to find free parking. I had to walk.
All right, so these are things that you must plan in your schedule. So if there's not any place to park, you know what you do? You do the park and ride. I don't know what people have against the bus system. I used to ride the bus, and guess what? I used to ride the bus when I was an attorney. So there's no harm in riding the bus. All right, so today is your plea deadline date, and today is jury trial date. Where are we?
Your Honor, my office, we filed a motion to withdraw it's, we know we recognize the late, kind of the late nature of it, but we were trying to get some work up with the bottom line, so we filed a motion to withdraw, because we have simply can't maintain that attorney-client relationship at this time based on some contractual issues.
No, I understand, but today is jury trial day, so he's going to trial today. You're going to trial with the counsel you have.
If we do not, if we're saying if our case does go today, Judge, but if it doesn't, will the court entertain our
Yes,
motion at that time,
most
Judge?
definitely.
Okay.
All right, so you need to decide, Mr. Montemarino, if you're accepting the state's offer or not. Otherwise, you're going to trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
And, well, if we could put that on the record later, if needed.
All right, is Thomas here? Joe Thomas?
See Adam, Judge.
Okay,
Was that this morning or this afternoon?
no, it's supposed to be this morning.
Oh, I can text him.
All right, if you'll text him and we can get that out of the way.
Mr. Benjamin? Just have a seat, sir. We'll be with you in just a second. Thank you.
Hello, yes. All right, thank you. Oh, so this was a motion to revoke? Oh, okay, thank you. Well, this should be very quick, right?
Yeah, that's the question.
Okay. All right, and if you can make sure that's all he wants. Okay, all right, and then I'm gonna have Barbara print out a sheet so that he can sign it saying that he's received.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll have Barbara send down a.
Okay.
Yeah, approach it on.
Just one moment. Okay. I have to send this email. Hi, it's going great. I'm just sending you an email. And if you could send that down. And actually, Robert Porter made a copy of the record for him. Okay. All right.
Sure.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Hello? Yes, hello? All right, will do. That's okay. Bye-bye. Hi, John. Sorry about that.
May I
Yes,
circumvent the system?
yes, you may.
Turns out authorization is a good idea. And I have agreed to.
Okay, so what you need to do is you'll take this to Judge Nahara and he'll sign it.
Okay.
All right.
I've
And if you'll-
also got 3 bonds reduction motions that I filed yesterday. Should I take those down?
Yes, and just speak to Ms. Ferguson and she'll arrange it.
All
All right, thank you. John, my mom says she loves your tie.
What you should love is the tie tag.
That's what she loves that as well.
I got this from an estate sale.
Oh, get out of town.
Yeah.
What? Wow.
It's Star One.
Oh. So your mom your wife didn't pick out the tie and out.
No,
You do your
My
own.
daughter has moved out now. I'm allowed to pick out my own.
All right. Who's here on Anna De La Rosa?
I'm here, Judge.
Where's Anna De La Rosa?
That's a good question, Judge.
Well, she has been missing appointments.
Yes,
Them?
I know pretrial services has been looking for her. I have the only contact info I have is for her sister. And her sister doesn't know where she is either, Judge.
All right.
It gets not in.
Deputy Laura, can you make an announcement thank you. And we'll go on the record. Court is calling 2023 CR 7787, State of Texas versus Anna Marie De La Rosa. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Will Brooks for the defendant, Judge.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. and today's jury trial. Ms. De La Rosa has not made an appearance. Defense, where is your client?
Judge, I'm not certain. I know pretrial services has been looking for her. I have not heard from her since our last setting, Judge.
She is not out there, Your Honor.
Thank you. State?
Your Honor, state asks for a bond forfeiture.
All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant and remand her without bond. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
What's up there, 2 keys?
MC Reed? Hello,
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Making.
Oh, okay. All right, we have jury trial today.
Yes, Judge, according to my client, I didn't get notice, but he filed a motion to terminate me as counsel. He doesn't want me as his attorney anymore. There has been a breakdown in attorney-client relationship, so I will request a withdrawal as well, but
All right, so Mr. Reed,
Yes, ma'am.
let me explain something to
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
As you know, I've been a defense attorney, I've been a prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes the breakdown in communication is, guess what? My attorney came back to me with this offer. I think this offer is ridiculous. And that's the breakdown in communication. But what I can tell you in this court,
Yes, ma'am.
I require that the state tender an offer to the defense. You can think that offer is ridiculous. I always tell people, I like for people to be kind to each other. So you can think it's ridiculous, just don't say it's ridiculous. Or of course, if you want to say it ridiculous, you're more than welcome to do that. But I always find that when people use extreme words, then it truly puts people with their back against the wall. So the way it works is the state tenders an offer to your counsel. Your counsel will tender that offer to you. You can accept it or you can reject it. You can reject it and say, in your mind, this offer is ridiculous. I'll only accept A, right? Then you know what will end up happening? That's called a counter offer, and your attorney will go back to the state and say, my client is unwilling to accept the offer you've tendered to me, but he's saying he's willing to accept offer A. And then at that time, excuse me, Mr. Brobenick, we're talking here.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
So then at that time, the state will tell you, I will give him what he's asking for, or either the state will reject your counter offer and say, no, I'm not going to give him that. And then at that point, guess what? It's jury trial. So that's where you are. This is your attorney who is going to be trying the case. You understand? All right. So if you want to enter an agreement, you're more than welcome to do so. Otherwise, the jury is coming up here at 11. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Joseph Montemoreno. Oh, I'm sorry. That's all. Just have a seat. Your case is up for trial. David Tavares. Hello. Oh, counsel, you're on this side. We had some changes for security reasons. All right, so Mr. Tavares, you're up for jury trial. All right, so jury's gonna come here at 11. Of course, there are other cases that are ahead of yours. If those cases do not work out, then you're up at 11.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have any questions?
No.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Let me make sure I have the acknowledgement of discovery.
I believe we have everything in there, Judge. I checked last time.
Let me see. I do not have the acknowledgement of discovery.
I'll make sure I get that right.
All right, thank you. Yes, if you could talk to your client,
Okay, yeah, I will, Your Honor.
and that's if we get to that point. No,
You can put me first if you want.
okay, thank you so much. Jesus Mendoza.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, so what are we here for? I know we're here for trial.
It's set for trial, Your Honor. The state has filed a motion, first motion for continuance.
All right, have you reviewed that?
I have, Judge, and we're not in agreement.
Okay, well, let's go on the record. Court is calling 2021 CR 3260, State of Texas versus Jesus Mendoza. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Patrick Hancock for Mr. Mendoza.
All right, are you Mr. Mendoza?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the state has filed a motion for continuance. Defense, have you had a chance to review state's motion?
I have, Judge.
All right. Are you prepared to proceed on the motion, defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Defense, any objections?
Judge, we would object to the continuance. I've conferred with my client. We object to the continuance. It cites that a material witness is missing. I'm aware of who the witness is. I can tell you, Judge, that this case is over 3 years old. The material witness was never a part of the original discovery of this case. Was not a part of consideration for indictment or for the case to be, even before that, to be accepted into the DA's office. So I'm aware of who the witness is. Mr. Garahan and I have had conversations about it, but there was enough evidence to move forward on this case for 3 years, and I don't know what would change regarding this other witness who is material according to the state.
All right. And so the court would just note for the record that an indictment, the burden of proof is not as high as for a jury trial, but state?
Yes, Your Honor, I've had discussions with Mr. Hancock. And it is a necessary material eyewitness to the actual event that happened, this murder. And Mr. Hancock is correct that the original detective had not identified this individual. And through the investigation of the state in the last, well, more than 6 or 7 months of actually addressing this case, the state has become aware of this person and identified this person and has tracked this person down. And at this time is in contact with this person through her attorney and in the process of speaking with her. At this particular moment, that person is not available for this trial if the trial proceeded this week or next week.
All right. So how long are we expecting this trial to last, though?
It would probably last at least, I would say 2 weeks, Your Honor. Oh, well, let me rephrase, 1.5 weeks, Your Honor.
All right. And defense, would you have any objection to the witness appearing by video?
Yes, I would, Judge.
All right. All right. Motion for continuance is denied, and we'll see where you fall on the jury trial.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. All right, Ms. Abrams, on this case?
It's out.
Okay,
Mr. Mallory was here,
okay,
but he stepped out, so I don't know if he planned on returning,
okay.
but I don't know necessarily that we really needed
No.
him.
All right. Mr. Lynn? If you'll come up, please. Hello, Mr. Lynn. How you doing this morning?
Fine.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Lynn, they said that they've approved you for placement at DDRF. I really do think it's best for you to be in the program because that'll help you be able to address some issues in your past that maybe have never been addressed. And also it'll help you be successful on this probation. You understand?
Yes,
All right. Do you need any other help with anything?
no, ma'am.
Okay. And so how long is the transfer?
Judge, for DDRF, it's gonna be 6 to 13 weeks.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I know you're like, whoa, that's a lot of time. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna put you on our docket in 6 weeks. Now, when you're trying to figure out or have a deputy look up whether you're set or not, it's not gonna show. But I'm gonna have the coordinator give you a reset form for 6 weeks. That's for me to make sure that everything is processing with you, okay? And if for some reason, if you're not transferred in 6 weeks, we're gonna come up with something else. But it's gonna be a phantom setting. And the reason why the setting is not gonna be on the system is because if they wanna pick you up and transfer you, and they see us setting in the system, they're not gonna transfer you because they're gonna say you have a court date. So just know you're gonna be set in 6 weeks here if you haven't been transferred. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, what date?
Your Honor, can I have 7 weeks, please?
Are you okay with 7 weeks? I promise
Got
you
no
6.
stores. Yes.
No, I mean, if you're not okay with 7 weeks, just tell me you're not okay with 7 weeks.
Oh,
You're not okay with 7 weeks?
The only reason why I'm asking for 7 weeks, Judge, is because 6 weeks, I mean, that's the beginning of the wait period, and it might interfere with that. So I'm just asking for 7 weeks. If not, we can bring it back in 6 weeks. Judge.
It's not gonna show up on the system that you have a setting with us, okay? But I'll put you down for 6 weeks. And the reason why I'm putting you down for 6 weeks is because I said I would put you down for 6 weeks, okay? All right, what date, Ms. Ferguson?
19th, March 19th.
All right, so we're gonna bring you back on March 19th. However, if you've already been transferred, you're not gonna come back, you understand? All
so
right.
what's this place like?
Oh, it's just a place to address any mental health issues you have.
So where I go from now?
Hi.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. So I was explaining to him that he's been accepted into the DDRF program.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so we're gonna try to get him there as quickly as possible. And I think, okay, he's already been extended. So we're gonna bring it back on March 19th. It's not gonna be a setting in the system, because if we set it in the system, they're not gonna transfer him if they are able to transfer. And also, Mr. Matamori, if you want to see, they normally don't accept people who are on probation. You can't be on probation and bring the program. You can check and see with the mental health court if they would accept him. And that's across the hallway. All right, Norma, if you'll put that in the, well, not put it in the system, but it's for March 19th.
Yes, sir.
Judge, so he's gonna go to DDRF?
Mhm.
Okay, and then as far as the mental health court, what was your suggestion on that?
Oh, my suggestion is if you want to go across with your client's information, and perhaps probation will let you borrow the results of his screening and see if they'll accept him in mental health court. If they accept him in mental health court, they may do something that may entail less time than the 6 weeks.
And the DDRF?
Yes. So, yes, so if you'll let the 379th know that he is on probation, there's no way for me to do a motion for new trial to remove him off of probation. So just let him know that he's on probation. That may end up disqualifying him from their program, but let them know what the screening results are. And because this is a state jail felony, maybe they'll make an exception for him. Yes, sir.
So where I go from now?
Oh, from now, what's gonna end up happening, you're gonna go back to the jail. You're gonna,
Somebody want to finish with the program with this place.
oh, when you finish with this place, they're gonna have things set up in place for you to help you with your housing, to help you have a case manager, so that a case manager can keep you on track with your mental health.
Oh, you talking about like a halfway house, something like that?
No, it's not necessarily halfway house. Sometimes it's a group home. Sometimes there are different grants where they can actually put you in transitional housing, where you go from one place, maybe a group home, or maybe a single home or an apartment, and they slowly transition you where you can stay on your own. But the key to that is going to be staying in contact with the case manager that they're probably going to give you, and staying up to date on your medications.
I can do that.
Okay, all right, that's a good thing. And I read the report that there are some different issues that have happened to you in your past. Of course, people sometimes feel comfortable opening up about things slowly. So whenever you feel like opening up about that, sometimes that's healing. Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you so much. You have a great day, okay?
So,
All right,
Judge, we'll come back on March 19th,
yes.
and I appreciate the court's understanding and allowing Mr. Lynn to get straight. Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Okay. Oh, yeah, he's been given the record and stuff. So it's done. Yes,
Excuse.
yes. Thank you. Email right now. Sometimes it takes her a little bit. Ah, here it is.
Christopher Batman? Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you for your money today.
Yeah.
You signed it? Oh, she's getting one later.
I need that. Oh, here it is. Mr. Mamori. Mr. Mamori.
And if you sign it and he sign it, you can make a copy for yourself and then I'll take the original to give to Barbara. Thank you.
Just waiting for time.
Adam Gonzalez. Adam Gonzalez.
Judge, I believe he's a fugitive. I just got appointed to it last week. It was, what's his name's case before?
All right, can I see the file on Adam Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Say he's a fugitive,
Apparently, that's what the docket says.
but where is the one-armed man?
That's
See,
what-
you,
That remains to be seen.
do you know how long I watched that series, the original? And you're just like, oh my gosh, somebody, where's the one-armed man? It's sort of like the series, The Sons of Will Sonnet, where he's trying to find his son. And every town they go to, he just misses his son.
I never saw the TV series, but I saw the movie.
Yeah.
And the answer, of course, is Devlin McGregor. Let's see the face.
All right, yes, there is a warrant out for his arrest. The surety removed himself from the bond.
That's right. It was the previous attorney. What's his name?
Who?
Yeah. The name escapes me at the moment.
It's gonna come to you at 2 a.m., but don't call me.
Yeah. Well.
All right, what we'll do then is we'll reset this for April 1st. And we'll see if they have picked him up by then.
Sounds like a plan, Judge. Additionally, Judge, I have Virginia Cerna on the docket today.
Okay.
I have not conferred with the state. However, I don't think there's any offers we're gonna take, but this is the first trial setting, so I'm assuming we're not going to be up to pick a jury.
Oh, you never know. Other judges do that.
That's quite true. And I'm ready to go if necessary.
Awesome. All right, Norma, Adam Gonzalez is recalled for April 1st. Paul Bell,
Here, Your Honor.
Hello.
Hello, Your Honor.
All right, where are we on discovery?
Discovery should be in good order, Your Honor.
I would agree with that, Your Honor.
Has an offer been tendered?
We have an original offer, Your Honor, it's the first offer that we've gotten on the case today. State does want to look at where the victim is in the case, and then this offer may or may not change.
All right, how old are you, sir?
53, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, set this in 3 weeks for a plea deadline date.
March 5th.
All right, we're coming back on March 5th. That's your plea deadline date. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Judge.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
I left that receipt back there, said she did it, scanned it in, get it to where it needs to go.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Michael Anthony Garcia. Oh. All right, Mr. Garcia, you can have a seat. I was just making sure you were here because you were late.
Oh, Judge, are we done with Mr. Scott? Attorney Scott?
Yes.
No, we can move on. Okay.
All right, Mr. Scott, you received all of your documents, correct? All right, so they're going to take you back, all right? You're welcome.
Yeah.
Stephen Estrada route. Where do you want, what's best for you? I don't think there's actually anyone on that side. Oh, he has one.
Yes.
Adam Hood is a juvenile.
He's what?
He's a juvenile. The juvenile courthouse.
Oh, yes, I remember now. So,
it's gonna happen too.
yes, that's fine.
Sure, it's on the line.
Oh, just tell him whenever he finishes to come over.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for reminding me of that. Is that the community Kleenex now? No, I'm just joking. All right, everyone, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Everybody has
It's multiple clicks.
I'm sorry. Oh, I came in stealth, right? Oh.
They like that now. All betting what happened to Jim's. So she was. Figuring this out, right? So that now.
To approach on him.
Simply because I think. If I find it so funny, it's good. And if you don't say fun, sometimes you really find it smart. No, it's not. I think that's.
Hannah Owen. Come down. Counsel here on that side.
My apologies.
No problem. All right, yes.
Good, it's our first setting. I've conferred with the state. I'm gonna get some information over to them to.
All right, so it's not technically the first setting. She didn't show up for court in December, so.
Understood, Judge.
All right, so what's going on?
My first time here talking to the state. I'm gonna bring them some information to hopefully help dispose of this matter. I'm gonna be out of town for the next couple of weeks, so I'd ask for a little bit longer of a reset since I'm gonna be out of pocket and my calendar is pretty swamped when I get back, as happens when you go on vacation.
When are you coming back?
I'm coming back, the 17th, I think it is.
That's February 17th?
Correct.
All right, we'll set this for February 22nd.
I am preferentially set out of county on that, Judge.
All right, we'll set you for February 20th.
I have multiple other settings. I'll get here as fast as I can, Judge. That's all I can do.
All right, we'll bring you back on February 20th, okay?
Judge, actually, if I may, there's work that I need to do on this case to get to the state of Texas. And because I'm out of town, there's no way I'm gonna have it done in 3 days when I'm back. I leave tomorrow.
I'll just tell you this, that I hate using the word sensitive again,
Mhm.
but yes.
All right. So we'll bring it back on. Norman, can we put this on March 25th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, March 25th.
That was it. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Excuse,
Yes.
appreciate it.
Can I see the file on Jasmine Hardaway, please? You should have two.
Instead of saying sort of prison, why don't we just send it to people to bracket bills? Where? Bracket bills. I don't know, that's what the old Alamo. Yeah. Yeah, I went there to that movie then. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, I got.
All right, Jasmine Hardaway should have two files. Okay, thank you.
He seemed to relax.
Thank you.
Coming on to James.
All right, Mr. Shaughnessy and Jasmine Hardaway. All right, thank you. Yes. All right, counsel, you on this side. Right. All right, Ms. Hardaway, you're scheduled for trial today. However, we have jail cases that are ahead of yours. When I say ahead of yours, they've been awaiting trial longer than you have, okay? So we're gonna see if those cases work out. If they do, then you'll be up. So I'm gonna release you all till 1 p.m.
Your Honor, my client has two cases.
Yes. All right, so if you all will be back at 1 p.m., okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Do you want?
Found about his case.
Oh, wow.
Deputy Laura, can you call downstairs and tell them instead of 11:30?
I didn't. I'm not on it. Could have been.
Sorry to ruin it.
That's okay.
Anybody said it.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to do that one. You want to go back to the office?
Mr. Brovanek, how much time are you all asking for voir dire? How much time are you all asking for voir dire?
Well, I think the state has an issue that they want to talk to you about. So I don't think they want to ask for any time for 4 years.
Oh, no, this is going.
Well, I think they've got a legitimate argument. And I hate to say that, but I think it's a fair argument.
Judge, so, and I guess we were gonna have this hearing closer whenever we were about to go on this. So we subpoenaed 2 witnesses in this case yesterday. We have a jail call last night from the defendant telling these witnesses not to appear.
All right, that sounds like forfeiture by wrongdoing. So the confrontation clause doesn't apply. So what's the issue?
So that was just something that we were just gonna file a motion, Judge. I just hadn't had the time to work.
Oh,
on it,
okay.
Just because it was pretty short notice. And we had just uploaded the jail call just because it happened
Okay.
last night.
All
So
right.
I mean, this is new information to me, and this changes my way of doing the case, and I am not ready based on that information.
All right, we're going forward. If somebody makes a jail call allegedly last night, this wasn't a jail call that has been sitting around forever. If it's a jail call that was made last night, state wouldn't know about it until they looked at it.
And I wouldn't know about it until this morning.
So you all are on notice. He's alleged to have made a phone call. You have it. Have you turned it over to the state defense?
My understanding is that our paralegal uploaded it in the case or either
no.
this morning.
Just have them give it to him now. Let him listen to it. Let his client listen to it. This case is going to trial. He's been in jail and this is 5 settings, so it's going.
Judge, the only other thing, so we did get discovery, there was a co-defendant in this case. The discovery mainly pertains to the co-defendant. That's what I've been uploading this morning as well, but we weren't gonna use any of the co-defendant items.
This is going to trial today.
So let me just be clear, I'll need to make a record. I believe the state of the law is I'm entitled to time to prepare for a trial. I believe that's under the due process costs and due course of law.
Mhm.
I have not had time to do that. It will adversely affect my client. I understand you have the absolute right as a trial judge to call my case. I cannot keep you from doing it.
Mhm.
I don't prefer to do things twice.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
This-
raising the issue. with
I
you.
understand what issue you're raising. This is going to trial. If he made a phone call allegedly
Well, I don't know.
recently, well, we're gonna find out. They're gonna give you the phone call. He'll be able to listen to the phone call. But if he made a phone call last night and it's something new that they didn't know about beforehand and they're just getting it, it's going. So
It's an interesting interpretation of the law.
I know, I appreciate the interesting interpretation, but that's what happens when clients make phone calls from the jail and think that the phone calls are not recorded. When it clearly says when somebody's making a phone call, this phone call is being recorded. And then the person on the receiving end of the
Judge,
phone call.
I
it
understand the
says that.
argument. I'm simply telling you as a litigator
Mhm.
that it changes the trial strategy. I believe that if it does affect his due process rights, and I will want to make that
Well,
absolutely, as they put it, there is no other kind of clear but crystal on the record.
oh,
And then you may overrule that.
Yeah.
I may then cite the case law that tells you you're wrong. You may ignore that and then.
Oh, let me just tell you what's gonna end up happening. I'm not hearing any motions for continuance unless a motion for continuance is filed and filed properly. And number 2.
Well, now, how would how would I do it in writing when I just found out about it? All right, so I will go back to the office and I will prepare that motion for continuance and I will
And
do
then
that.
I will hear it. And if I'm telling everybody, if that motion for continuance is based upon a phone call that he made last night, this trial is going. All right,
Okay,
who's
well-
here on Janelle Williams? Court is calling 2023 CR 10464, State of Texas versus Janelle Jamal Williams. Can I have parties approach for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense,
Lindsay Shaw for Mr. Williams.
are you Mr. Williams? All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Williams, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes.
Showing you the true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of evading arrest detention with a vehicle? That's a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Williams, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and counsel, Mr. Bonk is listed as the attorney of record. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm an associate with Mr. Bunk, and Mr. Williams is aware of that.
All right, do you have any objections to her going forward with this plea?
No, ma'am.
All right, court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's to be a $400 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. This is to run concurrent with 705-180. They're taking in consideration the following night mag numbers: 705-034, 705-032, and there's to be a destruction of the firearm in 705-180. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1.
No objection.
All right, state, you may continue to confer. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, Mr. Williams, he just turned 20 on January 27th, I believe. He's working full-time for Amazon. We just asked that the court follow the plea bargain. If I may speak to community service hours, because he's young and working full-time, if the court would be willing to probate some of those community service hours, we'd ask for that.
All right, and could you let me know what the court costs are in this, please? 325, thank you. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
3,
What are their ages?
6 months. And then
Oh, are they triplets?
I have twins and I have one
So 6 months and then what?
3 months.
I'm assuming this is not the same mother.
No,
How far did you go in school?
graduated.
So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life other than having children and picking up cases?
I'm gonna get enrolled in real estate.
All right, I can tell you're from the staff. Are you originally from San Antonio?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any family support?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's your family support?
My parents.
His
father's
here with him today.
Hi. I'm doing great. So when you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
When's the last time you used?
Last time.
Here's the thing, you need to be honest with me because where we're starting at now is both parties have agreed to you having deferred, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm trying to see what the best conditions are for you. So
Yes.
don't be honest with me because you are going to get drug tested. I know they probably drug test at Amazon, but usually people know when the Amazon drug tests are coming. So if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Positive.
And what are you going to be positive for?
Marijuana.
When's the last time you used?
The beginning of the month.
And did you let your father know you were using?
No, no.
You have 6-month-old and twins who are 3 months old and you're using marijuana. I hope you're not riding with them in your vehicle with the smell of marijuana. You understand? That's not good for children when they're developing. I don't care what people say about marijuana, it messes with their brains. Their brains are still developing, and you know what else is developing? Their immune system. You're going to have to do better. And if you don't do better, you're not going to do well on the probation in this court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So do you live by yourself or you're living with your parents?
Live with my parents.
All right. I'm going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. If you complete everything soon, you'll be off soon. $400 fine, that will be probated. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Random, regular UAs. And probation, he'll need to be tested for levels. Destruction of the firearm. And cause number 705180. This is run concurrent with cause number 705180. Take in consideration night mag number 705034, 705032. And what is your relationship with Leslie Contreras Valenzuela?
Just acquaintance. We're not. I don't talk to him.
There's to be no contact with Leslie Contreras Valenzuela. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. And Bashan, with that, you can do the rainbows one. After you complete parenting classes, the court will deem the community service hours to be satisfied. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month for 3 months, and then at probation's discretion. And we're going to do 30 sober meetings in 30 days. Your court costs in this case are approximately $325. Are you able to pay that in installments? Probation, is there anything else he needs? Anything else you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You have put your children in not a good place. You know why that is? Because their father has probation as a felon. I don't think any of your children that were born were saying, hey, I would love to have a father who has a felony probation. So you're gonna have to do better, because you know how children learn? By looking at and mimicking what other people do. And if you don't want your children to end up coming into a felony court on charges, telling that judge, well, you know, I had a hard life, my father kept picking up felony charges, then you had better change your life. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And since you're living with your parents, guess what? Parents' rules. If they want the television off at 10, then television goes off at 10. If they want you in the house at 10, guess what? You're in the house at 10. Until you get your own place where you're paying your own bills, their rules apply. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, in this court, if there's an issue and you feel like probation isn't addressing it, you can always come back to the court and I will see what we can do. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. David Trevino.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, I see we're gonna have to take a break anyway because we got lights out. All right, so where are we on this, counsel?
Yes, Judge, it's the second trial setting on this matter. I did file a motion for continuance. He does
Well,
have,
today is not technically a trial setting, it's a plea deadline date.
okay, Your Honor.
Yes.
We've been extended a plea offer from the state judge. He does have a misdemeanor case pending also in County Court 13. We have a global agreement prospectively in place that once he takes that plea on the terroristic threat case in 13, this case is going to be taken into consideration. He's set for in County Court 13 on February 13th, which is 1 week from today on Tuesday, Judge.
Okay.
So we're asking for a date beyond that, and if there's anything that should arise, we can apprise the court.
All right. So are we able to put this on February 15th because it should be solved?
Yes, yes, that's fine, Your Honor.
All right, and then if it's solved, then he won't be brought over.
Perfect. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any questions, Mr. Trevino?
Not right now.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you recall this for February 15th? All right, if there's nothing else.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, thank you. Good seeing you again.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, is the interpreter here on Fräulein Guzman? Okay. All right, next person is Raul Gomez. Court is calling 2018 CR 3391, State of Texas versus Raul Gomez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense,
Tim Molina for Mr. Gomez.
are you Mr. Gomez? I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I do.
Are you the same Raul Ortiz Gomez who was placed on community supervision in 2018 CR 3391 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram on May 20th, 2019 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes,
All right, state.
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Raul Ortiz Gomez, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer in person for the months of September 2019 and October 2019 in violation of condition number 5.
Just 1 moment. All right, how do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And Your Honor, we waive the other violations alleged in the motion.
Any objection?
No.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, sir.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor, we're asking that you grant the motion and sentence the defendant to 1 year in the state jail. And the state is gonna take into consideration night mag number 745970.
All right, is that the proposed agreement?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking the court to follow this agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what has Mr. Gomez done on probation? And I think this case is before my time, so nothing's really written on the docket sheet.
Your Honor, I don't show that Mr. Gomez really completed anything on his probation. There was a top done back in 2019, but other than that, he still has all of his community service hours left. There have been no payments toward any of his fees. There were multiple failed to submit UAs.
All right, it sounds to the court, Mr. Gomez, as though you have a drug problem.
I had no problem, Your Honor, and when I signed to this, they didn't give me no court calls or no court fines. She told me that I was to look at it as getting help. You know, I was going through a divorce, and you know, it's just, you know, I fell in the wrong crowd, and
Well,
then I
no,
disappointed my
how old are
kids,
you?
disappointed my kids, and
How old are you?
I'm 54 today.
At 54, you don't have any wrong crowds or peer pressure. At least you're not supposed to. So if I talk to them and ask them who the wrong crowd is, they'll tell me you the wrong
It's gonna
crowd.
be me, but I'm in the same neighborhood. They want me to get out of the neighborhood. They clear my surroundings. They want me to
Alright.
move.
So I'm gonna grant the motion. Take in consideration night mag number 74590. 1 year in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. If you would like, I could request the therapeutic community for you. It doesn't increase the length of time that you're in custody. However, it could possibly help you with your drug or alcohol problem. Would you like me to request that for you?
That would be good.
All right, so I'm gonna request the therapeutic community. Even though I'm requesting it, you're still going to have to ask for it as well. You understand?
Mhm.
All right. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney?
I
Did
did,
you
yeah.
understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Who's here on MC Reed? MC Reed. Court is calling 2023 CR 6099, State of Texas versus MC Reed. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state, for the defense?
John Pettis for defense.
And there are no applications? All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Going to show you, Mr. Reed, what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are waiving the repeat enhancement allegation, Your Honor.
No objections, Judge.
All right, Mr. Reed, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 gram to 4 grams, that's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you enter plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Reed, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. This will run concurrent with County Court Cause number 706865. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
State?
Yes, sir.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Contest.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection, Judge.
You may continue to confer.
Thank you.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We just asked to follow the agreement, Judge.
All right, and he needs to sign here.
Knock something over.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Reed, how often have you been using meth? You need to be honest with the court.
That's not my drug of choice. I don't even use meth. My drug of choice is crack cocaine. I've been using.
No, but I mean, you had meth in your pocket.
Yes, ma'am, I did, but that's not what I use. I use cocaine. I'm a cocaine addict. I've been there for 20 years. I had a drug problem. I've been having a drug problem for 20 years. I've been in and out the prison for 28 years of my life. I've been in and out of prison. I've been having this drug problem for most of my adult life. I spent in prison. I've been trying to get help and seek help.
All right, so other than this state, Mr. Reed, could I see his criminal history, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Got about 18 felonies, Your Honor,
Okay.
all behind drugs.
Any objection to the court reviewing his criminal history?
No, Judge.
And after this case, it will be Larry Evans.
Oh, this is a little bit out.
Problem.
It's like,
Oh, you want to just pass it to me or?
yes, ma'am, sorry, so there's, it looks to me like the TCIC and the NTIC.
Okay.
But I can run a local one right now, too.
All right.
Is that in file? Yeah, you got it.
It is, Ron.
Oh, just 1 moment. I need to see this. Before you pass me anything, you may want your attorney to pass it.
And Judge, this is, the little, just a little. That's the.
All right, I see that you're on parole. What is the status of the parole?
He has a whole judge. They're awaiting this case to make their decisions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And which case is he on parole for?
Yeah,
What are you on parole for?
I have a drug charge. I had 8 years. I served 3 on the 8. And that was in 2018.
All right, so
Just got reduced.
here's the thing. Honestly, I think he has a drug problem. I think he has a heavy drug problem. I know that people are asking for prison time. I'm inclined to give him probation if he applies to it, but if that is going to say you have no plea agreement.
I think the important part for me, Judge, would be, there's a DWI alleged too, that's enhanceable. I would like any sort of agreement to include that. I mean, that's important to me.
The issue that we had when we were negotiating, Judge, is that any plea to the felony is in a cause of revocation. Probation does nothing because now he goes back to prison on the parole case. We were trying to negotiate something for the DWI to go on probation for because his parole officer did indicate that a plea to the DWI and dismissal of the felony is not likely to result in the revocation.
Well, here's the thing. I did parole hearing cases before. Of course, some things change as an individual. It depends on your hearings officer. It depends on the parole board. But it seems to me that he has a drug problem. And if I send him back to prison, and I know that parole will give you help with your drug problem, but it appears that he needs inpatient treatment. So Deputy Laura always says that if I made her an offer of prison or probation, she'd just take the prison time because probation is not easy here. So what I can do is I will either sentence you to 2 years in the prison. You get credit for any time you're served. Hopefully you get some help with your drug problem. Or if the state doesn't have any objection, I will place you on probation for 10 years.
Take the probation for 10 years.
Been over 10, Judge?
Yes.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, if you all want to. So what that means, when they're saying 10 over 10, that means if you're revoked, you're looking at 10 years in the prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Can I speak?
You know, people always say you talk yourself out of something. But if your speaking is you no longer want the probation, then.
No, ma'am, I wasn't speaking. I'm through talking.
All right, so I'm going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison. It's going to be suspended and probated for 10 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. If for any reason he's revoked on his parole counsel, we can come back and then we can do something with this.
Yes, Judge.
Because I always thought it was weird for somebody to go to prison and then they come out and they're still on probation.
Run into those situations, Judge. Yes, Judge.
So it's regular reporting by Zoom or in person, proof of employment within 40 days of release.
You asked what happened.
Bashan, it's going to be a TAP evaluation in custody. Follow all recommendations of TAP. So if TAP says that there's inpatient treatment for you, there's going to be inpatient treatment.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
They're grown.
Okay. There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. Bill visits 1 time per month for 3 months. There's going to be random UAs, random regular UAs. What is the court cost in this, please? That's okay. It's a 3rd-degree felony. This will run concurrent with County Court Cause number 7068865. It's run concurrent with parole. All right, the court cost in this case is approximately $380. Will you be able to pay that over installments?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Probation, is there anything else? Yes, we'll do a referral. Yes, we'll do a referral to felony drug court. And of course, I know they're gonna say he has the parole hold, but at least we'll know beforehand. So we'll also do a referral to felony drug court, and that'll be while in custody. Anything else, probation? Anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Deputy Laura always says, I would never accept your probation because it's too difficult. This is what you wanted, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're gonna have to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do to be successful. If there's an issue with your probation, let probation know. If you feel like they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court.
Okay. Is
All
there a
right.
possibility of getting off early? If I pay everything and do everything?
Oh, see, you can't start bargaining right now.
Oh.
Just remember this. You were 2 seconds from going to prison.
Yes, ma'am.
And most definitely, if you were going to prison on this case, you would have been revoked on your parole.
Yes, ma'am.
So accept the blessing.
Yes, ma'am. I do. I'm sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse Judge.
Yes. All right, so there's an interpreter here, and then after that, we're gonna take up the plea on Leslie Cox. Roberto Ramirez. And Bashan, I'll give you time to go over things with him.
Judge, there's 2 cases, correct?
Yes.
I represent him on the assault. The evading was filed in December.
Oh, excuse me. Interpreter? Hi, thank you. You're one of the most important people, and we're proceeding as though it's not the case.
Ready, you're in.
Thank you. All right, so the first issue,
Judge,
has somebody talked to him about his immigration issues?
yes, Judge, we got a Padilla letter
We are the record.
last setting. From Ms. Coles. And I represent him on the assault. I was hired on that. He was indicted after I was hired on an evading arrest. And he's got Fernando Trevino appointed to that case.
Okay.
We're set on my case today for
Mhm.
trial. So I'm here to make my announcement. He's ready to, we're ready to go to trial, Judge.
All right, he's up.
Um, So we're just, yeah, I heard you talking to another lawyer.
All right, so Mr. Ramirez, you're gonna be going to trial. We're gonna bring you back at 1 p.m. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No, everything is fine.
All right, thank you. Who's here on Larry Evans? Hello, counsel, do you have all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has an offer been tendered?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, how old are you, sir?
38.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can I have a 30-day reset on Larry Evans for a plea deadline day, please? All right, we're gonna come back on March 11th.
I'm on vacation that week, Judge. Spring
Okay.
break. Like,
Oh, that is spring break. Normal, it's spring break. People have children.
Before or after, Judge, I'm totally fine with that.
Oh, yeah, we're in court on a jury trial, so
me.
yes. All right, so,
The 18th, Judge, the whole week is open for me.
all right, we'll see you back on March 18th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand?
Talk to him. I mean, I wouldn't advise it, but go ahead.
Mhm. Yes, yes.
We'll be saying to March 18th. Like I said, I'm gonna file, oh, Judge, we'd request a speedy trial. And we'd also request to remove the ankle monitor. I can have a motion to
A
follow.
motion needs to be filed, but what I can tell you, he has an assault family second offense. Are these offenses alleged to have been committed on the same date?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so, Mr. Evans, the reason why you're on GPS, and I'm making assumptions because I'm not the one who put you on GPS, is you have an assault family second that was committed on a different day from your violation of bond or protective order. I don't take it as true because no facts have been presented to me. However, what I can tell you is that GPS is staying on. Now, counsel, I'll keep an open mind. If you have something to present to me as to why that GPS should not be on, then I'll hear that.
It's my fault, Judge. I will have those motions prepared and the court can hear them. And we'll, of course, file a motion for a speedy trial. I'll have both of those filed. That's my fault for not having those done today.
Oh, sure. And we'll get a trial for you quick, fast, in a hurry, okay? Is there anything else?
The affidavit.
Right, that's a fact that we're gonna present at a later time. I understand she's not gonna consider that at this time. That's evidence that we'll present when it comes to a trial setting, which we're gonna get.
All right, thank you. Marcelino Padilla?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, and counsel, you're on this side. Oh, that is so nice.
Now.
Being helpful, I appreciate that. All right, Mr. Padilla, today is your plea deadline date. Are you accepting the state's offer or not?
Your Honor, if I may, on his behalf, the state is going to consider another offer. But the third chair cannot do that today, so we're asking for another short reset. And then possibly we'll have an offer then. Another offer.
Yes.
So
and forgive me if I misspoke earlier, but today's offer is the best and final. I did confer with the second chair. So that is the state's best and final offer. I was saying that maybe, if you have a chance to speak with another member of the team, they might be more amenable or whatnot, but
All right, so that's the offer.
yes, that is the offer.
Does he want a trial? Or does he want to?
How many weeks is that for? Those.
Okay. So do y'all need to discuss it?
I thought we had.
Would the trial be better?
We'll need to discuss it.
All right. If y'all will discuss it, and we'll come back.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Who is here on Leslie Cox? And Norma, if you can call somebody from maintenance to come down, all of the lights are going out over there. There should be no mood lighting unless we're at restaurant and food is involved. Hello. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 1326, State of Texas versus Leslie Cox. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state criminal trial division?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Louis Martinez on behalf of Ms. Cox.
Are you Miss Cox?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you always address appropriately for court. I appreciate that. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge, I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Cox, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are not, Your Honor. We're proceeding under the lesser included offense of Class A misdemeanor, DWI with the BAC above 0.15.
Any objection?
None.
Going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that the state is proceeding on the lesser included of driving while intoxicated with a result of 0.15 or more as a Class A misdemeanor? The range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Did you intend to do that?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, she has, Judge.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, yes.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Ms. Cox, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain agreement. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of DWI as a Class A misdemeanor. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, and they're recommending community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours of community service restitution, the DWI intervention course, DWI victim impact panel live, regular UAs, or the alcohol patch, 2 years driver's license suspension, and ignition interlock for half the term. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the lesser included offense of DWI with a reading of 0.15 or higher, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Judge.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 and the attachments.
No objection, Judge.
State you may continue to confer.
Thank you, Judge.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. And off the record, that needs to be corrected. The charge. Because y'all are proceeding on with 0.15 or more, correct?
Yes.
So in the, all right, thank you. And Ms. Cox, they're just putting in the paperwork. Sometimes the paperwork doesn't print out correctly with the computer. So it's still going to be the DWI with the 0.15 or higher.
Yes.
And they just needed to write that in. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Judge, we're just we're thankful that we've been able to resolve this case. We're asking the court to accept the plea bargain.
All right, so other than the child that's mentioned in here, do you have any other children?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many?
I have 2 biological and 4 stepchildren.
All right. So what have you been doing since you have had this case pending? Have you gone to any type of treatment, any sober support meetings?
No, I started out with AA, but I didn't really like the way it went and how it was ran. So I went online and I got online groups and I just quit and
Excuse me, Judge, if I might, there were some issues going on in her personal life that she was dealing with, and those thankfully have been resolved, and she's in a better place, and so we fully expect that she's in a position to be successful in probation.
Okay. All right. And are you employed?
yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I'm a customer service representative. I work at Circle K
Okay.
for right now.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Well, before I do this, have you ever had any type of treatment for anything, mental health or anything of that nature?
No.
All right, I'm going to sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. That will be probated for 2 years. And what is the court cost for a misdemeanor class A, please? No problem. There's gonna be 80 hours of community service restitution. I'm gonna order parenting classes, and that can be with rainbows. And then the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's gonna be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. I'm gonna want a TAP evaluation. That can be done out of custody and follow TAP recommendations. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. I'm gonna want 90 sober support meetings in 90 days. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Random regular UAs. And probation with the random regular UAs, if you'll just note she has a job, so there may be some issues. DWI intervention. DWI victim impact live. 2 years driver's license suspension. Ignition interlock for half the term. Probation, is there anything else?
Judge, probation wanted me to bring up that she does live in Medina County.
Okay,
She lives in Castroville.
all right. Is there a need for a transfer then? To Medina?
We can monitor, but I did want the court to be aware of the field visits
Okay, all right, thank you.
unless she's.
Okay, so we'll allow you to continue to live in Medina. And what's the court cost?
$490.
$490 for misdemeanor, it's only 300 for felony?
Well, this is because it's a PWI.
Okay. All right, so the court costs of $490. Will you be able to pay that over installments? They're not gonna ask for it all at once.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, is there anything else you need from the court? Gonna show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, and I'm not just saying this is because this is Texas, this is anywhere. But I know you've had a chance to read the police report. When you're following people and people think, why is this person following me? You know what ends up happening? Anything could end up happening. It could turn into a Lifetime movie. You know, people could get shot and then you're shot, your child's in the car. You understand?
Yes, Judge.
All right, good luck to you.
How you doing?
Marcelino Padilla, are we back on that?
Yes.
Yes. All right, if y'all come up. And Deputy Laura, I'm gonna go out and speak to them briefly to let them know about the lighting situation. Okay. Okay. Yes, I still have it. I'll send it over. All right, so what are we doing today? It's the pre-deadline date.
Judge, my client would like to have a jury trial. If I could make a suggestion to the court, either appoint a Spanish-speaking lawyer or appoint me a second chair that speaks Spanish. And Alfonso has agreed to do it, if you'll allow him.
Alfonso Cabanas, come up. All right, Norma, if we can place Mr. Cabanas as second chair.
And so we'll be ready whenever the court date is.
All right, how long are you all expecting this trial?
It should be in a week.
Oh, wait, a week?
Well, I mean, within a week. So 3 days.
2 to 3 days probably.
Oh, 2-3 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Can you put this quickly on the docket for jury trial? It's 3 days. All right, we'll come,
If we can do it, sometime after that, I have a really special event on the 11th that I need to be ready for. It's one of your brothers. So I need a little more time.
one of my brothers.
No, sisters, I guess, whatever. It's another judge that I'm doing something with.
But what are you doing for the one, in the words of Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately?
We'll see, we'll see it soon.
Okay,
So maybe a week after that would be fine. But
then that's gonna push us into March, because we have a special, you know what, Norma? Do we honestly think that that case that's specially set on the 26th is gonna go?
Jason. One in charge, and so far I know it's.
All right, so let's do this. We're gonna put,
Impact. Would be on February.
no, 12's not good.
no, let's put it for February 26th. I will be here. And I will, if you can put us, in case they're doing their trial here, if you can put us in the conference room. Just reserve the conference room for us. So we're gonna put you down for February 26th. If the special setting that's set on the 26th does not go, then we will be going on this trial.
Okay.
If, you know, the special setting does go, then we won't be going on this trial. We'll give you another date.
Who's defense counsel on the special setting?
On the special setting, Anton Hayek.
It's Merck.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
All right, on Perez. So if you all will be back at 1.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, and you all will give me a moment. I'm just gonna let the jury know to come back at 1, so just give me one moment. Who is his client?
She got the trial.
It's on the docket.
Page 7 on top.
I see the problem about his grants. And if you sit in, you said page 7.
On top.
All right, Mr. Simmons, we'll see you and your client back at 1.
Commissioner Booker,
Yes.
Well, I guess that one, we're still trying to work it out to see if we're going to that, Judge. So we're waiting to see if we go to there.
Yes.
Just one if I break.
Yes.
But-
All right, Joseph Montemoreno, we'll have you back here at 1 p.m. for jury. Oh, is there anything else?
Yeah, just, I was just to, I don't know if we do have to go, but is it possible for me to appear by Zoom? So they didn't anticipate being here this morning.
No,
But
no,
I can
no.
Go back.
Because it'll be a jury trial. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
I have Jesus Mendoza.
I'm back at 1 too.
Yes, 1. All right, Nicholas Aguilar. Hello.
Hey, Judge.
Hi. Court is calling 2022 CR 2810, State of Texas versus Nicholas Aguilar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett. Oh, sure. You don't have that.
Oh, what the? Okay. I was like, what the heck? We're waiting for her. It's like curses. That's my blind spot. Because
Yeah, you really can't see there. You've got a lot of screens around you.
And you know what's so funny? This one here has I have no control. I don't even know why that's here. Why don't they put it
Does it
down
show
there?
anything? Does it show anything?
Oh, yeah, it does. And it's supposed to show exhibits that the state is entering, but sometimes it doesn't work. It's time for it to be changed, but you know how it is.
Well, I saw on the news last night that the chief financial officer for the county had spent over $14,000 on a door so he could go outside and smoke. Yeah. And when they're filming him on his porch on the top floor,
Yeah.
he sees the camera and he does one of these. He ducks behind the wall. It was hysterical.
Well, do you know, I'm trying to get light bulbs.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting you say that because I was just in the 227 and it seems much brighter in there.
Mhm.
So.
No, I've been complaining about these light bulbs forever.
I don't think I'm fixing it. I mean, what does it take? 5 minutes to come and replace
Mhm.
those?
And you know, I said, I will put the light bulbs up, and they said, no, you can't allow that.
We'll call Mariah Mendoza. She's the one that did the report on David Smith last night.
Mhm.
And we can maybe get him on the light bulb issue.
Oh, I should.
Yeah. Right, so she's Jim here. What she's going to be testing for is the left, so the next the left have to be down. Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 2810, State of Texas versus Nicholas Aguilar. For the state,
Jason Gearhead, Your Honor.
defense.
John Coons for Mr. Aguilar.
All right, and excuse me, if you all are speaking, if you could move to the end. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Aguilar, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
I did, Your Honor.
Showing you the true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you
Yes.
understand it?
Yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
we do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Aguilar, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand your charge of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 2 over 400 grams? That's a first-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you enter a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes,
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
yes,
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
yes,
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, and yes.
Mr. Aguilar, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No,
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
absolutely.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes,
According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication and there's restitution to SAP for testing. Did you understand that to be the plea?
yes,
Defense?
yes, Judge.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 7 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 220 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
I do.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty, Your Honor.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all this attachments.
We have no objections. We reviewed them.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes,
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We would request that, Judge,
And
yes.
anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Judge, we're very grateful that the state was able to finally offer him deferred, and I've explained to my client the importance of doing everything on time and not having any violations because of the gravity of this level of offense if he does screw up. And so we would just request that you follow this. I've also explained to him that if he is completing everything successfully with no violations, that we might be able to come back and approach you about terminating his probation early.
All right, does anybody have any idea what the cost of the drug testing?
I told him it's probably gonna be a lot because as you saw that lab test, I'm sure it's gonna be several hundred, but I don't.
Yeah, Judge, the state's not aware of the exact cost of that.
I've seen as high as over $1,000 recently. So yeah, I just don't know.
All right, what is the court cost for this? It's a first-degree felony. Do you have any children?
I do not.
All right. Are you employed?
I am self-employed, Your Honor.
Doing what?
I do detailing in vehicles.
Is that business registered?
Mhm.
It's
Yes, it
either
is.
yes or no.
Yes, it is.
All right, your court costs of $375. Will you be able to pay that over installments?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 10 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. Restitution, if any, to SAPD. 300 hours of community service restitution. The court is not waiving those. You can talk with probation about different places you can have community service. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be no contact with Victor Fernandez. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider with minors. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month until further notice. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'll be clean, Your Honor.
Have you ever used drugs?
I have in the past, yes. I don't smoke though.
What have you used?
Oh, I've smoked before. I don't smoke now though.
What does that mean you've smoked?
I smoked marijuana before.
All right. Going to do a TAP evaluation. Follow all recommendations. And with regards to the community service hours, counsel, if he wants to pay those off, the court will let him pay those off at $9 an hour.
Okay, I'll explain that to him, Judge. Thank you.
And I always suggest to people the food bank, but if there's some other charity you would like to see and it's on the approved list, you can send it there, but not the human fund. All right.
That's
Is
a
there-
Seinfeld reference.
Yes. Is
Okay.
there anything else, Ms. Abrams, that he needs?
No. Tell me again, the no contact with Victor.
Hernandez.
Nothing else.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is the plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record from here on out. You know what every question you need to ask yourself? Is this something that I'm doing that could potentially result in me being revoked? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. Because what should be at the forefront of your mind, like if you're not reporting, you know what, I'm gonna let this slide. Maybe they're not gonna do anything. You need to ask yourself, is this worth potentially going to prison for the rest of my life?
I'm aware, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Have a good rest of your week.
Thank you. Raymond Foos.
Good morning, Judge President.
Good morning. You come on one case and now you're in another.
No,
No, I mean with the other case. Mr. Foos, come down.
Judge, before you read the MTR, I think we have.
this is an update, Judge. That's-
Yes. Oh, I haven't read anything because it's not stamped. So what's the update? What's going on?
In conversation with Mr. Foos, Your Honor, he let me know that he was sentenced out of Midland on a federal case.
Mhm.
I talked to Hank about it, so we're waiting to pull up the federal judgment to see how much time, so that we can resolve this state case with the federal as well.
All right. So this is going to have to come back fairly quickly. And the reason why, because when the feds want to take somebody, they can take somebody and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we're gonna bring this back on Thursday, the 15th.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else?
Not from defense.
All right, Norma, on Foos, he's coming back on the 15th. All right, is there anything else?
Not from defense, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Who's here on Orlando Adina?
I am, Judge.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine.
All right. So where are we on the immigration status?
Your Honor, I got in contact with the attorney the court recommended at the
Mhm.
last setting. She and I spoke to Mr. Andino down at the holding facility.
Mhm.
And she sent me last week, the Padilla letter.
Mhm.
I let the state know that Mr. Andino's only recourse is to go to trial.
All right. So Mr. Andino, you want a jury trial?
If that's.
I mean, well, they made the offer, so that is their offer. You can either accept it or reject it. So are you requesting a jury trial?
Well, I got a question, Your Honor, that it's going to take how long to be in trial?
How long is this trial gonna last?
Judge, based on the office, I don't see it taking more than 3 days, Judge.
All right, are y'all ready for trial?
Judge, I thought this setting was the plea deadline, so I haven't requested the witnesses on this one.
Okay. All right, Norman, what's the quickest we can put this for a quick turnaround for jury trial? And if we can, are you free in February?
Of course, Judge.
All right, cute.
I think I'm scheduled to be here on 13th.
Okay, that's family violence. February 12th for impact?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll call you back on February 12th, but you won't be with me. You'll be in impact. Yes.
Your Honor, I got the paper the lady gave me for my program, they're gonna help me.
She doesn't focus on.
Oh, you gonna fuck on that?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. And so Deputy Laura, make sure that he's dressed.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, who's here on Joseph Montemoreno?
It was Bill Simmons, Judge. He's coming back at 1.
One, yes. Kimbrough, your client, Joe Blakely, what's going on?
I'm conferring, and I'm assuming you're taking a lunch break. I was gonna come back at 1.
Well, no, we're picking a jury at 1. So where are we on Blakely? Are you guys ready to proceed on that?
He's
Your
still
Honor,
downstairs, Your Honor.
we haven't had much of a chance to speak, Your Honor, and if it's a true contested, of course, we would just need an hour to get the.
All right, is this going to be a contested?
I would like to talk to my client briefly. I think probably he will plead true and go to the court for punishment, but
Okay.
I'm not sure yet.
All righty.
I just want to talk to him about it. I don't think he's contesting the specific allegations.
Okay.
I'll have him called out right now.
Sure.
Yeah, you're right.
He's coming back at me.
No, that's, I'm sorry. You're right. No, the other guy. Oh, let's talk to him.
He's downstairs waiting for you at 1.
At 1? Okay, I'll come back at 1, but. Let's talk to everyone. Be back at 1.
No. Let me see. Oh, okay, I just now got it.
Judge, I'm sticking to this.
Oh, yes, we are on break. At 1. Virginia Cerna.
Judge,
Yes,
we are set for trial today.
yes.
I'm assuming from what I hear that we are not number one for trial.
I don't know who would tell you that.
I'm going out, I'm reading the room, so I'm doing that.
How
But
can you read the room when it's so dark in here?
okay, in that case, Judge, we're ready for trial. We're ready to go.
All right, so you'll be
Pick a
back,
jury.
you'll be back here at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Yes.
All right, we'll see how
All right.
things go from there.
All right, thank you.
All righty, thank you. Let's see.
All right, so Deputy Laura, these are the people who are coming back. On page 20, Joe Blakely at 1 p.m. On page 5, Jasmine Hardaway, she's on bond. Eric Gonzalez Lopez. Fraulein Guzman. Stephen Estrada. On the next page, Stephen Estrada, Jasmine Hardaway, Joe Hernandez, Joseph Kruger, Roberto Ramirez. On page 7, Joseph Montemarino, Luis Ramirez, Griselda Rosales, Virginia Cerna, David Tabarez, Journey Escobedo, Donnie Alvarez. On the next page, Donnie Alvarez, Larry Holmes, Michael Garcia. All right, you're gonna be back at 1. And then on the next page, they were supposed to be here in the morning. They're not here. I'll just notate it in the docket sheet. And then Johnny Tamas, that's for a court's ruling. All right, see everybody back at 1.